Good morning, and welcome to your January 3rd full moon in Cancer, first full moon of 2026 astrology forecast. I will be going over the general astrology in this video. This is a dynamic full moon, which most of them are. This one is interacting with the nodes of fate. This is like the second or third moon that we've had that is interacting with the nodes of fate. So we are really being called forward in what we are meant to be growing into right now, and things that are showing up and things like that will be for our highest and best good, and shaking things up in ways that we might not expect, but that are pulling us towards our true North Star and our true path, and guiding us forward in this journey that we call life. So before we get into it, just a little bit about me and a tiny little bit of housekeeping. So I am Sarah at Life with Training Wheels. If you are new here, thank you so much for finding me. If you're returning, thank you so much for returning. So I am a Western tropical zodiac astrologer, and at Life with Training Wheels, I utilize astrology, tarot, Reiki, nutritional coaching, and health and wellness, all different sorts of tools to help guide you to find your way home back to yourself, basically, to release any victim mentality that you may have, to realize how powerful you truly are, and to help you take control of your life. Because one of my favorite quotes is, wherever you go, there you are, whether that's good or bad. So if that's something that sounds like you want to stick around for, a vibe you can vibe with, then I encourage you to stick around for this whole video. The house cleaning that I have, it's not really house cleaning, just some items. So I do still have your first astrology course going on right now. I am a little slower than I want to be in releasing those videos. We have 2 videos released. It's a 6-week video course taking you from just not even knowing how to pull up your chart to walking through the planets, the signs, the houses, how to kind of put them all together, understanding your big 3, rising, sun, and moon, and then learning how to take these general readings and apply them more personally to your chart by the end of 6 weeks. Hopefully I'll be recording week 3 here pretty soon and getting that out. They're just emailed to you. We can exchange via email or via comment on the videos if you have questions. I really want to make the learning for you. Link will be in the description box below for that. The other thing is I really want to start a newsletter this year, just talking about hopefully a weekly newsletter, but where I just send out a weekly newsletter about the things going on my various YouTube channels. I have this one. I also have a tarot one. I have a meditation one that I'm starting up, and then I will have like an overall just like spiritual one in general. So that newsletter would kind of go over just what's going on across all my different channels, as well as highlighting any deals or specials I have going on at that time. So the link will be in the description box below. I also am running right now a freebie where if you do sign up for the newsletter, I'm going to be picking within the next few days somebody to receive a free January 2026 numerology report for their personal numerology monthly energy. So somebody will get a free one of those reports if you sign up for my newsletter. So link will be in the description box below. Now let's get into it. So if you haven't watched me before, I kind of like to build the new moon from the bottom, or the new and full moons from the bottom up. So first I like to start with just a description of what a full moon is. So the full moon is when the sun and the moon are opposite in the sky. And so, the sun represents our vitality, our ego, our drive, where we're kind of focused and headed in our life, what we want to embody. It's kind of like our spirit a little bit. And then the moon is more our emotional landscape, our emotional safety, our emotional setting, where we feel safe, things like that. And so when these are opposite in the sky, the full moon is kind of drawing attention to where we might be forgetting. We're so focused in wherever our sun is at. The full moon is kind of like, well, don't forget about over here. We need to shine light over here to make sure that we're remaining balanced. It also is a time of harvest, right? At the new moon, we plant new seeds of intention, new seeds of growth. It's in this dark stage. It's beginning to grow. And then by the full moon, things are hopefully we're ready to harvest. Things have shown up, manifestations have occurred, and it's time for this review process of being grateful for what has shown up, and then kind of weeding out what isn't working. So that's why it's a good time for release. It's like shining a light on what's working, what's not, and helping us let go, helping us recalibrate, so that we can stay balanced and keep moving forward in the best way possible, so that we can keep manifesting and keep growing in the ways that we want to. So then we look a little further and see what sign the full moon is in. So in this case, it is in the sign of Cancer. Well, what is Cancer about? It's our emotional, the moon rules Cancer, so there's a lot of similar correspondences and overlap with this particular full moon. So Cancer rules our emotional safety, our home, our family, our ancestry, a little bit nostalgia, right? Nostalgia of the way we grew up, nostalgia of things that have passed. Being a water sign, it is also very connected to our intuition, and it is a cardinal water sign. Cardinal is a modality of initiation, whereas water is more receptive. So you have this initiatory but receptive energies kind of coming together in the sign of Cancer. So this means that like the Cancer energy can take action, but it's not necessarily direct, like with Aries or something like that, that's all fiery and everything like that. It's kind of like, like a river. It's moving forward, but it's meandering along the way, kind of following the intuition of, the best path. A little bit more like that type of energy. So a full moon in Cancer wants us to move forward, wants us to be aware of our emotional safety, our home and family. And Cancers have this hard shell, right? It's the image is the crab. So they have this soft center, very loving, very nurturing, but if you provoke them, that's when their claws come out and they get very protective of their own, protective of their home and family. So the full moon in Cancer is making sure that you are being protective of your home and family, and that you are being protective of your own emotional and spiritual field, and making sure that you are making room to tap into your intuition. So overall, it's asking the questions of like, where are you not emotionally centered? Where are you not spending enough time at home or with your family? Are you tapping into your intuition? Those types of questions are the things that the full moon is illuminating and, calling to the attention. Also, if there's anything within this area of life that you need to weed out that's holding you back. Are the people in your home and family supporting you, or are they draining you? Are you Are you making time for yourself and your self-care? If not, why not? How can you tend to yourself and tend to your family in ways that support both you and your family? So that's the overall big picture. The fun part about astrology is, these full moons, new moons happen every year in every sign, but what gives them their unique flavor each year are the conversations that they're having with the other planets. So now we're going to dive into that. Okay, so I have the full moon up on the screen. So you can see the full moon right here in Cancer at 13 degrees, 1 minute. And it is opposing the sun in Capricorn at 13 degrees, 1 minute. So the moon is making several aspects. The first of which that I want to highlight is this opposition, which, is inherent with a full moon. It's always opposite the sun. But you'll see that the sun is sitting here with Venus and Mercury. Venus right here and Mercury right here. So there's this triple conjunction over in Capricorn. Capricorn is where we, put forth a lot of effort. It's where we work. If Cancer's the home, Capricorn is kind of our work environment, or how we show up on the outside, right? Home is our safety. Capricorn is where we are out in the world. So this is, where we work hard to get forward in life, move forward with the things that we're striving towards. And with Venus and Mars here, and it's not in conjunction, but it is here in the sign, which, as we talked about in the January collective reading, it's really rare for all 4 personal planets to be in the same sign at one time, because they all move at different speeds. Some as much as they only spend about 3 weeks in each sign. Others spend about 2 months in each sign. So the fact that they are all aligned is a very, very rare event. So there is heavily concentrated area. We are heavily focused in this area of Capricorn energy of building foundations, building structures, building the new life that we are striving towards, right? All this, our financial and relational energy is in this building energy. Our mind and thought processes and learning and growing and communication is in this area. Mars, our willpower, our motivation. It's like the harmonization of sun and our vitality and spirit, our heart with Venus, our willpower with Mars, and our mind with Mercury are all online, all aligned, wanting the same things, wanting to build the same things, working together to get things done. So there's so much energy here. The only thing that's personal that isn't over here is the moon, which is our emotional safety. So that's really what this full moon is highlighting with this opposition is, okay, you're doing all these things to build, which is great, right? We've been doing so much work here in this tearing down and building up of things. Saturn especially rules all of this energy here. So we're still in the process of tearing down old structures within our own lives as well as on the collective. But we're also in this rebuilding at the same time. Like, okay, let's tear it down, but what are we gonna replace it with, right? So we're very much in this building phase, in this building up structures, figuring out what's going to work. But the full moon is asking us, are you neglecting anything? Are you neglecting your self-care? Are you making sure that as you're so focused on this building and so focused on moving forward, are you tapping into your intuition? Are you tapping into your emotions to make sure that what you're actually building is going to sustain you emotionally as well? Is it going to sustain your home life, your family life? Are you building things in such a way that you're going to have a nice balance between work and home? Especially with this, I think a lot of what we're doing individually and collectively is kind of dismantling the ideas of work that we have had in the past, and bringing more love and compassion with Venus, and also bringing passion with Mars and willpower. Like, no, I want to work where I want to work and what brings me desire and things like that, instead of just going to a job that I hate, right? We're kind of restructuring that energy, and the moon is here to bring us back in check and say, are we considering that? Are we just so focused on building that we can't see the forest through the trees? Let's take a step back, make sure that we're tending to all aspects of our life while we're doing this. Make sure that there's a solid emotional foundation as well, a solid place for us to go home to as well, right? So there is that energy going on. The other main energy is this sextile to the north node or south node, and a trine to the north node. And all these planets, right? All these planets over here are in this sextile to the north node and trine to the south node. So this is bringing in fated opportunities, fated events, keeping us focused on how to move forward the way that the God, Spirit, the universe is wanting us to, keeping us focused on where we are meant to be growing individually and as a collective, which is in this Pisces area of oneness, compassion, universal love, the Christ consciousness, things like that, and making sure that as we are building these things, that we are building with that north node in mind, that we need to build things based in trust, right? That we may not know exactly what the future is going to hold for the things that we're aiming for, but to trust that as long as we're tapping into our intuition and listening to our higher selves, that it is going to bring us to the right path and bring us closer to what is meant for us, what is meant for the collective, what is meant for the world as we know it, and our lives as we know our own personal lives moving forward. And keeping us tuned into, as we are all learning to sit more with our own sovereignty, and learning to speak our own voice, and with all the healing that we're doing with this I am energy, like learning to embody who we truly are and the gifts that we truly bring to this world, to also have that universal love, universal compassion, and realize that other people are doing the same thing, and not everybody's going to agree with us, not everybody's going to be on the same path with us, and not everybody's going to see the world the same as us. And that we need to allow that. We need to be willing to stand in our own truth, but allow others to do that as well, even if it offends us, right? Like, even if it offends us, can we still attain this like Christ consciousness and still show them love, right? So it's like reminding us, this full moon is, we're in this great building phase, along with tearing down, but it's reminding us with the full moon in Cancer and this activation of the North Node in Pisces, reminding us to tap in to make sure that we're building with love as the basis, because that is the best thing to build on, is love, not fear. Love over fear. and to let go of, those negative Virgo energies of needing to know every little detail before we can build, like leaning into the trust. Like, I'm not sure where this is going, but I'm getting a message that this is the next right step, and not having to know the detail of the step after that, and not placing judgment. The South Node in Virgo, I think a lot of the message that it's carrying for us individually and collectively is to release judgment, right? Release wanting to control other people, because a lot of times when we're judging somebody, it's because they aren't acting or doing things the way that we think they should be doing things or whatever. So to release that wanting to control them will also at the same time release the judgment of them. So I think that's a big part of this South Node in Virgo, is letting go of the judgment of others and leaning more into this universal love, compassion, grace, things like that. And learning that the best way to lead, because Capricorn is very much a leadership energy, right? That the best way to lead is to lead with love and to lead by faith, right? So I think that is something else that we are being called to remember at this full moon. Okay, I actually think that's about it for this full moon's energy and what it's asking of us. Go ahead and comment below with how you're feeling this full moon. If you feel like anything is showing up with the engagement with the North Node, if anything is showing up for you in your life that is unexpected, or you're feeling just this pull towards what your next step is, or just how you're feeling the overall energy so far of 2026 and what you think of so far of 2026, as well as what you're leaving behind, because full moon is about releasing, right? That's why there's the engagement going on with Saturn ruling Capricorn, and we're still kind of dissolving in the last process of dissolving the old structures. So what are you leaving behind from 2025 at this full moon? What are you excavating at this kind of last chance excavation? So I'd love to hear those things in the comments. Also, if you could give me a like, a comment, or a subscribe, or share this video with anybody else you think might enjoy it, I would really love it, because any engagement you give me does help my tiny little channel grow. Have a great day. So this month is so huge that I have decided that I actually am not going to be able to get out the individual forecast by sign. Each one would probably take me an hour to go through, because there is so much. There's the 10 conjunctions, there's the big Neptune entering Aries, where it's going to stay for the next 14 years. There's a lot of big movements going on. So I think instead of doing individual readings, I'm going to do a kind of a quick tutorial of how to look at this energy within your own chart, and kind of teach you how to discern for yourself what might be showing up for you. So that'll be coming instead of the by sign forecasts. I hope that what I do put out treats you well, and that you are able to utilize it. And for more information, to go more in depth with it, you could sign up for my Your First Astrology course. But this is just, it's a quick way, because otherwise it's going to be, the month will be half over before I'm able to get all of the signs out. So it's just not plausible this month with how big this month is. So my goal is to teach you how to empower yourself to look at the astrology the collective astrology and then look at your own birth chart and see where it is landing and how the energy might be manifesting in your own life. That will be coming out shortly.